Hey Tim, congrats on your engagement. I didn't think you would get married ahead of me.
Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Shut up. Don't be rude to your sister. So, what's your fiance like?
She is pretty and kind. I do have some concerns about her though.
Huh? What concern?
Well, I'll tell you about it next time.
Is that something you can't say right away?
It's not.
I haven't been able to see you for a while because you're always busy. I wanted to see you.
I'm sorry. I tried my best to find a way, but I'm so busy.
I see, you're in a tough spot. By the way, Mom baked brownies for you again. Also, your uncle has a wedding gift for you.
Really?
Don't you have time to go to Mom's house to pick it up? Otherwise, I'll have to bring it to you again.
I'm really busy at work these days. I would appreciate it if you could bring them to my house.
Well, if you ask me. Thank your big sister.
Thank you so much. You still have the key to my house, don't you?
Yes, I have it. I can unlock the door and leave it in the hallway, right?
Please do so. I think I'll be working overtime every day next week. I really appreciate it.
Okay. I know you're busy at work, but take care of yourself too. I hope I don't burn out before your wedding day.
I know. Well, thank you again.
Yep, talk to you later then. I'll bring the stuff to your house today.
What? Today? My room could be very messy.
That's just the way it always is, isn't it? I'll clean it up for you if I have time.
No, that's fine. You don't have to do that. You are doing me a big favor just by bringing them to my house.
Well, okay. Alright, I'll just unlock the door and leave the stuff there then. You deserve it. What? Who are you? How did you get my number? No way, you're Megan. Yeah. It's Tim's fiancé. I'm shocked that some random skank was in my fiancé's house without permission. I'm surprised that Tim is messing with an ugly girl like you. What are you talking about? I mean, you're way out of line to hit me all of a sudden. It's your fault for overreacting and losing consciousness. I had to call an ambulance. I really didn't want to do that because it would have caused a big scene. No, you're the one who hit me in the first place. I have a wedding coming up. Do you know how I feel finding out that he was cheating on me? I had to beat the hell out of you. This is a huge misunderstanding. I mean, aren't you going to apologize? What? An apology? I was beaten by you because you thought Tim was cheating on you, and I was taken to the emergency room. You did such a terrible thing and not a single apology to me? What a joke you are. You're the one who should apologize. The girl he was having an affair with deserved to be beaten. You and Tim are both to blame. You're overreacting for nothing. Don't play the victim. Just talk to Tim. By the way, I checked your phone and got this number while you were passed out. I saw that you were exchanging messages with Tim the whole time. Unbelievable. Did you look at my phone without permission? You're unbelievable. I was so angry that I punished him as well. What? Don't tell me you hit Tim too. How could I do that? How can a woman win over a man through physical strength? I decided to do some mental damage to him. What? What do you mean? You're creeping me out. After you were taken away in the ambulance, I made a mess in his house. I smashed all his dishes, TV, and furniture, and I left his room. Now he'll be sorry and won't do this again. You're the worst. Breaking things in someone's house is a crime. I mean, when you hit me, that was already a crime. You, Tim's secret girlfriend, how does it feel to be sent to the hospital by me? It's your fault for messing with someone else's man, so don't report anything. I am Tim's sister. What? Come on, I've been telling you to listen to me for a while. And I told you to talk to Tim. What? You're his sister? Huh? Really? Yeah, really. So I told you to talk to him. But I can't allow you to continue to act out of line any longer. That's enough. Why didn't you tell me at the start? Are you kidding me? Come to think of it, Tim may have mentioned that he has a sister. Is that also why you had the key to his house? Yes! He told me not to come to his house. I was shocked that he gave the keys to another girl. Have I done something bad? It's bad no matter what you think. You seem mortified to learn that I'm his sister. But when he hears that his dear sister was beaten by you, he is bound to be furious. I called him earlier and he was quite angry. What? Did you call Tim? Why did you do that? Why not? That's a given. You beat me up and put me in the hospital. Well, it would be a bad idea to tell Tim about it. What's bad is not what I told him. It's what you did. I'm sorry I hit you, but I was in a panic. You understand, right? I only had a key to his house to bring stuff to him. I didn't know you were going there. Besides, Tim told me that he told you not to go to his house. I was just cleaning his room for him. What brought you to his house in the first place? He said he's been busy with work lately and hasn't seen me at all, so I was worried. So you ignored his request, made a copy of the key, and entered his house without telling him? He said he didn't want to let you in because his room was too messy. Is that so? Besides, if you had seen text messages between him and I, you would know that. He really is too busy with work to even show up at my parents' house for a bit. So I went to his house to bring him stuff. He is really busy. How can you not trust your partner even before you get married? I didn't know that. You should have trusted him. So you're done. Done? What do you mean? Tim is also completely disgusted by your behavior. I'm also reporting this incident to the police. Tim wouldn't want to be with a woman like you. What? So, what about our wedding? Of course that would be called off, duh. Tim seems to have just got back to his house now. He's pretty shocked right about now. It was just, I was distraught at the time. I lost myself. My brother says you're psycho and scary. He says he called the police. I'm sure he will file a damage report too. Tim called the police. Why would he do that? He won't answer my calls. Of course, that's because he's disgusted by you, right? And you even took the money that was in his house. Am I wrong? Well, I did it on an impulse, as a punishment to him. You're too much to handle. No, I'm not. You know the word jealousy, right? My boyfriend, my fiancé, had a random girl in his house. It's normal to think he was cheating on me. If I got into that situation, I'd ask the person who she is first. You literally just started beating the crap out of me. And you smashed his room. You're insane. We're both completely disgusted by you. Hey, you don't have to say that much. I was desperate. I was worried that Tim didn't like me anymore. Our wedding is coming up soon, so I wanted to make sure how he was feeling about me. Doesn't matter. What you did was way out of line. You should have had a proper talk with him, instead of sneaking into his house and beating up his sister. I guess so. Now I understand why Tim didn't want to tell me much about you. What do you mean? I think he sensed your psychopathic tendencies. I think he is terrified of your psycho jealousy and mental instability. Don't call me a psycho! Are you mocking me? I can't believe you made a copy of his house key and snuck into his room. And you just beat up a random woman you've never seen. Those actions are clearly not the behavior of a normal person. I was panicking. Oh, I see. Well, you can say whatever you want. This is no longer my concern. I'm not going to have any further contact with you after this. No, you're going to be my sister-in-law. Let's be friends from now on. What? Have you gone even crazier? I wasn't crazy from the beginning. Your initial impression of me was terrible, but trust me, I will get better. So let's be good friends from now on. That's not possible. My first impression of you was beyond just bad. You're just a violent criminal. Criminal? What do you mean? I'm going to be your sister-in-law, okay? Don't you think you should be a little more gentle with me? Yeah, I don't think you will be my sister-in-law. Huh? I didn't want this to come out of me. But I don't think Tim has any intentions of marrying you anymore. Are you kidding me? That can't be true. We're getting married! You got engaged to him only because you decided to do so on your own and reported it to your employer. And you forced him to meet your parents. So it seems Tim just gave up because he felt he had no choice. But this whole mayhem seems to have made him rethink too. Who told you that? Tim didn't say that, did he? Who else do you think is there? Why did Tim tell you that? Why hasn't he contacted me? Are you guys dating? Oh, come on, don't be crazy. Tim and I are sister and brother. You should at least admit a little that you're crazy. No matter how impatient you were to get married, this is too much. I love him so much I can't help it, can I? Don't use love as an excuse. Let me just be clear. What you do is simply too much for anyone. Both Tim and I are filing a police report. I hope they give you the proper punishment. What? Really? Wait, don't do that. I mean, let me talk to Tim. You go tell him that. I don't want anything to do with a pathologically jealous psycho like you. Your loved one ran away from you because he found out you were psycho. It's your own fault. You should reflect well and pay for your sins. Their wedding was called off and their engagement was cancelled. Megan had seriously injured Tim's sister Carly. And when the police filed a damage report, Megan was arrested. In addition, Megan was sued for ruining Tim's house. And she finally understood he had absolutely no intention of getting back together with her. That made Megan even more despaired. Of course, she was made to pay for all his property that she had broken. And Megan's parents were furious when they heard what had happened. She was cut off from them as well. In the end, Tim didn't have to marry a crazy psycho woman. He credits this to his sister Carly. Also, Carly could stop him from marrying some crazy woman. She's also happy to save her family. Carly is hoping to meet a nice guy and get married. But so far, there are no signs of that at all, which is a shame.
Isabella, Mom told me. I heard you decided to get married. Yes. Congratulations! I can't believe that you, adult girl, are getting married before me. I'm so surprised. Thank you. That's it? I reached out to you, but you're kind of cold. Maybe it's because you've done things in your life that have left you cold. What? What are you talking about? Did I do something? You've been making fun of me for a long time. Have I? I don't remember doing anything like that. You just called me dull, didn't you? Oh no, that's just a joke. I didn't mean to offend you. I've told you many times that I don't like that kind of thing. You're still as detailed as ever. If you worry about every little thing, your life won't be fun, will it? I think you don't care enough. How much trouble I've been put through. Do you have any idea about that? Trouble? I have no idea. You ran away from somewhere to my house at the end of last year too, didn't you? You stole your coworker's boyfriend, and then she found out and came to your house because of that. What? Was that my fault? Wasn't it the guy who cheated on her? You're both to blame. It's crazy to mess with the partner of someone you're close to in the first place. I remember when I was in high school, your boyfriend fell in love with me too. Maybe you've been holding on to your roots for a long time. I don't expect you. I know it's pointless for me to get upset. Oh, you mean you won't let me see your fiancé? Maybe you think I'll take him away from you again. I just don't want to invite trouble. You know, you say a lot of unnecessary things. I'm not interested in your fiancé. I mean, he works at a factory, right? I really laughed when I heard that. How can you marry someone who works in a factory uniform? You really need to fix that kind of thing. You're saying the same thing to everyone around you, aren't you? What's wrong with that? Nobody wants to work in a factory. Wouldn't you prefer an elite businessman or something? Don't think you're right. Besides, I think any profession is respectable. I believe factory workers can get married because of someone like you. The right person for the right job. I don't know, but I guess they're attracted to each other on the same level. Enough. Talking to you makes me sick. You don't have to say it like that. If you feel uncomfortable with it, doesn't that mean I've got a point? I believe no one likes their young fiancé to be disrespected. What? We're not disrespecting him. Enough. Stop talking. As your sister, I'll tell you one last thing. If you keep acting like that, you're really going to lose friends around you. I think you should start to think about yourself a little more objectively. Well, whatever you say, it's not good enough for me. You and I are in different positions, aren't we? A pretty woman can do whatever she wants. People are kind to me just because I'm pretty and beautiful. Okay. You're going to have a right? I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of poor people, so I'm not going to the wedding. Fine. I'm planning to have just my family and close friends. I see. Well, I hope you don't regret getting married. Even if you have money problems in the future, don't rely on our parents, okay? Hey sis, I've got the invitation for the wedding. Oh, did you get it? Actually, I'm getting married too. It's going to be a gorgeous ceremony, so please dress up as much as you can. Don't embarrass me. Why? Why are you doing this? About what? It's my wedding day. It's the same day as the wedding I was planning. Huh? Was it? But I sent the wedding invitations to everybody first. If you sent the invitations to them afterwards, wouldn't they all be turned off? What kind of sister goes out of her way to put her own ceremony on top of her elder sister's wedding? You chose the same way to ruin my wedding, didn't you? I can't believe you're thinking like that. I really can't believe it. Do you enjoy doing this? What? I don't think it's fun or anything. I just did what I wanted to do. What's your problem? The groom's name. This guy was at the same college as you, right? Oh, you remember. He used to be a dull guy, so I didn't take him seriously before. But now he works for a big company. So I just took him out for dinner and suddenly he asked me to marry him. Didn't you say he was creepy? He came to our parents' house without a notice. He seemed a little insidious. Now he has better looks than before. Above all, I'm fine with it because he has money. If he has money, he can make himself look better as much as he wants. I see. But after college, he married someone who looked like you. Didn't you make fun of him? Yeah, he left his ex-wife shortly after he and I started seeing each other. He said he'd rather have me than his ex-wife. But are you okay with it? Do you really like him? Of course I do. I love the fact that he has money. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm asking if you sincerely want to marry him. Hey, you know what? There's a difference between someone who will be my boyfriend and someone who will be my husband. Marriage can't be built on love alone. Marrying someone who loves me, that makes me happy the most. Don't you feel sorry for his ex-wife or something? Because, I mean, even if it was only temporary, you were dating a married man, right? Huh? Why would I care about that? It's his fault for dumping her, isn't it? That's how unattractive she was. Didn't you have an affair once before and demanded alimony? And did you forget that mom and dad scolded you for that? They said there's no next time, right? That guy paid all the alimony, so I'm fine. Too bad. In the end, getting a man who is reliable is the right thing to do. So you really don't think any of it, do you? Oh, I got a call from my cousin that she's coming to the wedding. Isabella, I'm sorry. My parents and relatives decided to come to my wedding instead. Your wedding will be like a wake. Oh, why don't you change the date? There are still a few days left, so you won't have to pay any fee for the change. It's okay. We've always planned to have a small number of people. Besides, I'm not going to change the date since we picked our anniversary. Oh, really? You didn't have to do it on the same day. You just had to pick the same day, didn't you? It's just a coincidence. We're sisters, so maybe we're telepathic. I don't care about that. I won't have anything to do with you from now on. I don't want to have a relationship with you as a family member or as your sister. You're going to cut me off just because my wedding is on the same day as yours? I think it's also quite a thing to intentionally put a wedding on the date. And it's not the only reason. I can't stand your personality, sis. I've put up with it because we're family, but I can't take it anymore. Okay, well, I don't need you in my life. Do what you want. I've been accused of having plastic surgery because my ugly sister. I'm going to live as an only child from now on. You do that. It's easier for me to live that way. Bye. Good luck with your miserable poor wedding. You and your factory working husband are going to have a hard time for the rest of your lives. Isabella, how's the crappy wedding? Are you enjoying it? It hasn't started yet, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. You're just being tough like that, aren't you? What's the point of having a wedding when parents won't even be there? Why didn't you move the date? It's okay. I'm really happy. I'm really glad that everybody's celebrating with me. Who's everyone? The husband and his little family, and my parents and our friends. My parents? My parents are coming to my wedding. They didn't go there, did they? They haven't come yet, but I'm sure they'll be here soon. And the guests are going to keep coming. It's going to be a great day. Really? Why don't you ask the staff if the guests are coming? Huh? Why? Wait a minute. They said they need to talk to me now. Okay. Isabella, are you sure Mom and Dad are there? No one has come to my wedding yet. Yes. Everyone's having fun at my wedding. The ceremony hasn't started yet though. We're still in the middle of the pre-party. What? Why? Our parents and all the relatives, they replied to me that they would attend my wedding. Sis, did you really think they would celebrate with you like that? I'm getting married, remember? And with a rich guy at a fancy place. It would be weird if they didn't congratulate me. I sent the invitations first. Why should your wedding ceremony take priority over mine? It's the result of what you've been doing to them. Huh? When you meet people, you always talk down on them. You always look for faults in others and show off. Which part of such a person are they supposed to like? We're family, so likability is not relevant. You and your husband were having an affair at first, right? I didn't tell him to break up. He just left his wife on his own. Even if so, people around you and his ex-wife wouldn't see it that way. Your husband's ex-wife came to our parents' house a few days ago. She wants us to pay alimony. What? My husband said he already paid alimony. He didn't pay for it. Neither for you or for himself. What? What's going on? Your husband, by the way, he doesn't seem to have any money. No? His ex-wife told me that he lied about working for a famous company. The wedding expenses and the present for you. He had to borrow money to pay for everything. No way. Are you kidding me? Are you making this up on purpose because you can't stand that I'm happy? It's true. He lied to you because he wanted you to like him, didn't he? Why don't you ask him about that? That's not possible. He's already spent thousands on me, remember? Anyway, tell our parents to come to my wedding right now. If things continue as it is, none of the guests I've invited will show up. Please, tell them quickly. There's no time. Mom, Dad, and relatives, they won't attend your wedding. Oh, but they said they'll just send a wedding gift later because they feel sorry for you for canceling at the last minute. I don't understand. I want people more than money right now. You want me to have a wedding where only the bride's side of the table is empty? Sis, do you know how many times we've been charged alimony by the wife of a partner you had an affair with? This is the second time. As you can see, our parents are more than pissed off. If our parents won't celebrate with you, why would our relatives come? It's my wedding, you know. Canceling at the last minute is horrible. And my friends and co-workers aren't coming either. Did you do something? Are you trying to humiliate me because I arranged the wedding on the same date? Why would I do such a thing? I don't want anything to do with you. Oh, by the way, I heard from his ex-wife. I heard there's some kind of a victim group against you. What? You have been stealing boyfriends from your colleagues and your friends. You've been messing around with other people's boyfriends without any hesitation, haven't you? And you're always talking down on me. You have a lot of things that make people hate you. So what? Most of your coworkers and friends that you sent invitation to, they said they were going to ditch you. Women are scary at times like this. They take revenge at the worst possible moment. Are you sure none of them are coming? I don't know all the details, but I guess if they haven't shown up at your wedding, that's what it means. Hey, I can't have a ceremony like this. Your husband's guests are there, right? This is not the first time for him, and he left his wife, so my parents-in-laws aren't coming either. He's invited fewer people than I have. I see. Well, that's tough. I mean, wouldn't your wedding be the miserable one, sis? Hey, please, can you ask at least mom and dad to come to my wedding? If possible, would you please reach out to our relatives too? Why me? If you ask them, I'm sure they will listen to you, right? Please. There's no time left. We decided to get married, and this can't be happening. You brought this on yourself, didn't you? Even this marriage of yours. I decided to get married first. That's why you rushed to get married legally and arrange the ceremony, right? Are you really that condescending? I'm not doing that. I'm the oldest sister, so it was natural for me to get married first, wasn't it? But since you decided to get married on your own, why don't you stop competing with others? You're only making it harder for yourself. Why do I have to be told what to do by you, ugly dog? Don't tell me what to do. You've been living your life looking down on others like that. Isn't that what brought you here? That's why no one will celebrate for you. Isabella, I'm sorry that was out of line. I'll be careful from now on. It's too late for everything. I'm sorry. I'm begging you. Please let me have our parents come to my ceremony. After today's wedding, I really won't make you any trouble. I don't want to be bothered anymore. That's why I've cut you off. If you're really sorry, you can handle it yourself. Well, my wedding is about to start too. Goodbye, sis. Let's get married and be happy with each other. Good luck with your miserable wedding with your self-proclaimed rich husband. After that, my sister's wedding began, but only a few guests from her husband's side came. It seemed the ceremony started off in the worst possible situation, but there was no way my sister could stand the atmosphere. The wedding was eventually called off before the reception. Also, apart from her relatives, none of my sister's friends and acquaintances from her side came to her wedding. As I thought, someone who had been frustrated with my sister up until this point had laid the groundwork, and they were encouraging everyone to cancel in the last minute. Furthermore, as the ex-wife informed me, my sister's husband does not work for a famous company. He was an ordinary company employee and had borrowed thousands of dollars to marry my sister. When she found out, she immediately tried to divorce him. Her husband, who was pathologically in love with my sister, would never have agreed to it. They still don't seem to be getting a divorce yet. My parents are completely fed up with my sister's second affair. My sister has nowhere to go for help now, since she's cut off from the rest of the family. I don't know what will happen to my sister from now on. I think she lives a life not nearly as ideal as she has imagined, paying off her husband's debts, and there's also the issue of an alimony, which won't be resolved anytime soon. I want her to take a hard look at what she has done, and I want her to reflect on it. But honestly, I don't expect anything from my sister. So at the very least, as long as she doesn't bother us, I don't care what happens to her. Thanks to my sister's usual behavior, my parents celebrated our marriage. We were able to have our wedding ceremony with the blessing of everyone around us. My husband and I are enjoying our married life together. I have been frustrated and disgusted with my sister, but there was a part of us that spoiled her too, because we were family. But finally, I was able to sort out these feelings, So I'm going to stay away from my sister. From now on, I will take care of people who care about me, and I will always remember to be thankful and build a happy home with my husband.